1990 Peugeot 205 GTI. This is your 1.9 model, finished in bright red, as you can see. It's coming from long-term ownership, this one. Nice big history file with it as well. We'll start by having a good look around the bodywork. As you can see, it's got a good nice shine to it. Quite often these red ones can be quite faded with a bit of lack appeal, but this one, it's got a really good shine to it. We'll start with the bodywork, like we say, then we'll do the interior and we'll get it fired up. If we look down this driver's side, you can see it's nice and straight all the way down there. It's not fun of any ripples or fill or anything like that. Got a couple of little stone chips on the front of the driver's wing there. The plastic set is actually really nice. Quite often these can dry out, they can bubble, they can look sort of faded and sun bleached. It's a bit of ingrained dirt on the bottom there that one's scrubbed off, but other than that, all nice and neat. The red trim down the middle is good as well. Back to the driver's wing, you've got a little bubble just starting to appear in the paint just there. It is nice and solid, you can push really hard onto it. And if you get your hand in behind the plastic arch extension, it is all nice and solid in there. But that is happening. It's a bit of a common area there. It's where the trim fastens on. There's sort of already a factory hole there. Standard wheels, 4 good tyres, and I think they're Continentals all around, but we'll check as we go. This front one's a Continental. If we're being really picky, the wheels might want to refurb. There's a little sort of curve mark and a bit of peeling here and there. If we look down the bottom here, quite often this can be a bit of a corrosion hotspot, but you can see on this one, all nice and tidy on there. If we continue all the way down the sill, apart from a bit of road grime, it's nice and tidy all the way along there. We do have a little bit of a paint flake from a stone chip down the bottom on the rear quarter there. Driver's door is all nice and tidy, above and below that trim. We've got one little stone chip just there and another one above it. A-pillar, again, that's all nice and tidy. And this bottom section here where the gutter comes out, you can normally get a bit of rust in there, but this one's lovely and clean. All good at that A-pillar and along the top of the screen. Same story around the sunroof, nice and tidy all the way around there. The vacuum does work on the sunroof, which I'll show you in a second as well. Rest of the roof, all nice and straight. There's no ripples or dents in there. There's a few swirls in there. It could do with a bit of a polish. But other than that, it is pretty good. Nice and clean on the glass. It's got all the correct stamps on it. It's not got any ingrained dirt or anything like that in it. On that rear quarter, like I said, there's a little bit of a paint flake here and there's a chip in the paint. Just there. The paint sort of split slightly. But if you get your hand in behind there, it is nice and sharp. Same story behind the plastic on the arches all the way around. Another good wheel with Continental tyre. Like I say, they could do with a bit of a refurb, as you can see. But we do have good tyres on there. And if we look back up this side, you can see it is nice and straight all the way up. Tidy all the way around your badging. There is what looks like some sort of staining in the paint there. Looks like it might polish out, but you never know. Just on this rear quarter, it looks like something been spilt on it at some point. Coming round onto the back, both tail lights are clean and bright. Normally this section can sort of peel and lift a bit, but this one's all good. Lower half of that bumper's nice and tidy. And the top of the boot lid again, where the window comes, you can normally find a little bit of rust coming through. But on this one, all good. Correct stamped rear screen, heated rear screen as well. On the passenger side, again, if you look at this side, it is nice and straight. It's not full of ripples or dents. Nice and clean inside that arch all the way around. This side, there's no issues there at all. There's no chip in the paint or anything like on the other side. Really, really nice and sharp on there. If we continue our way up that sill again, this side looks to be all good. Got another Continental tyre on the rear. So that's 3 out of 4 so far. If we skip ahead, yeah, so we're on 4 matching Continental tyres. Obviously sign a decent ownership as well. Rest of that rear quarter, all nice and tidy. See if on the roof from this angle again, you can see those swirls under our light. But again, around this side of the sunroof, no sign of any corrosion coming through the rail or anything like that. Nice and clean on the glass on this side. Nothing at all to whinge about on the passenger door either. There's no sign of any chips or corrosion coming through. Down this section here and up the A-pillar again, that's all good. Nice and tidy around the windscreen. Like I said, the plastics are in really nice condition. Normally they're a bit dry and caked and back to black, but these ones are good. Inside that rear arch again, the stone chips normally cause a bit of corrosion, but this one's all good. And then if you get your hand in behind, you can feel that nice sharp lip all the way around. Round onto the front. Headlights, indicators, and spotlights are all good. They do have the original Peugeot lens protectors on the fog lights as well, which is really cool. Lower half of that bumper is all nice and tidy. Grille is nice and clean. We've got a couple of stone chips on this side of the bonnet. There's another one there. It's caused a bit of a paint flake just on the lip there. The rest of the bonnet is all nice and straight and tidy. Moving on to the interior. Nice and clean on that door card. Obviously your 1.9's got electric windows as well. Door shuts are all nice and tidy. Carpet set is good. It's got some period correct Simpsons floor mats, which is quite cool, I think. But they've obviously worked because that heel pad is lovely. The carpet set's nice and clean. Seat wise, they quite often come away at this point here. So there's a seam that goes all the way across. That seam's slackened off, so that a good upholsterer will be able to stitch that straight back up for you. So that does happen. There's a tiny little bit of wear on the bolsters, but generally pretty good. And again, while you're getting that bit done, that one once refastened underneath there. Be quite easy just to tuck that in and say nothing, but it is worth mentioning. If you take the seat forward, you can normally see where they come away at the back there. It just clips on under there. Really easy fix. Rest of the seat, it's all nice and tidy. It's all nice and firm. No real wear on the steering wheel, generally pretty good. Top of the dash is all good. 93,483 miles on this one. If you check the description, we'll detail what we know about service history and all that sort of stuff. Nice and clean down that centre console. It's got the original Peugeot Clarion head unit as well, which is pretty rare. And we've been changed for something by now. And then into the rear bench. Nice and tidy in the back there. We've got a little bit of wear in the centre, on the bead on the centre there. Headlining is all nice and tidy. Bless me, sorry. Headlining is all nice and tidy. And then we've got the sunblind there as well, which is good. Like I say, the vacuum on the sunroof works. If you undo it, you can hear it releasing the sunroof. Take it back nice and easy. And then again, more importantly, when you close it, you can hear it sealing back up. So it hasn't failed or anything like that. All good. And it has been washed with a pressure washer. It doesn't let any water in. Into the boot. Rams are nice and strong. The parcel shelf hasn't been cut for any speakers. All the original trim in there is good. It's got a little bit of dirt. A good clean would make a difference in there. If we have a look at the boot floor, you've got a little bit of surface rust in this bottom left corner, but it is really solid. It's just where it's had a bit of condensation or something trapped in there, but the rest of it is all good. The boot was full of parts as well, so we've got some stuff that the owners sort of collected over the years. We've got a radiator, steering rack, brake calipers, one of the old school sunroof visors, which are really hard to find now if you want them, and a couple of other bagged Peugeot bits. Might as well go with the car. And then into the passenger side, get nice and clean and tidy on that door card. All good in the door shut. A little bit more wear on the passenger side. Centre section's all nice and tidy, apart from a little bit of stuff that we've got to hoover up. Carpet set is lovely and clean. We'll pull the bonnet while we're in there, that would help. Now, engine-wise, so 1.9, but you'll notice on the plates and in the history file, on the back plate even, sorry, the car has been through a COS in Scotland. So if you know your Peugeots, you'll know who a COS are. Really well known in Peugeot world for looking after standard cars, but also for tuning. There is a receipt in the history and a Rolling Road printout at 150 horsepower. So it's got that extra power. So COS have fitted there slightly freer flowing head with a fast road cam. So about 150 horsepower, still drives beautifully. It's not been done by a backstreet garage, it's been done by a COS. So it is who you want on your service history. Still got the jack in place there. In and around the strut tops is all nice and tidy. You could all do with a bit of a clean up in here, a bit of a detail. But all the right stickers are in the right spots. There's no sign of any corrosion coming through the inner wings or anything like that. I have had it down the road. It drives wonderfully. Just a little bit more power than a normal one. A little bit more playful, but generally very, very good. It does have an immobilizer fitted, which does work. You'll see that red light there. You hit the button, it goes green, and you're good to go. Starts on the button. Idling away there. Nothing nasty coming out the back. So there you have it. 1990 205 GTI 1.9 in bright red. Nice service history file. If you check the description, we'll detail all of that in there. If you want any more information, either come and have a look at the car, we can take you through the paperwork, we can fire it up, all that sort of stuff. If you can't get to us, again, give us a shout. We can do video calls, we can send you photos or videos, or we can answer any questions you might have. Thank you very much.